What's going on, my brand dudes and brandettes? It is your boy Theo, aka Hocus. I am here with my branded Despia deck. I'm very excited, simply because we got the new Fallen of the White Dragon and Ecclesia and the Dark Dragon cards. They completely changed the game for this deck. I love branded Despia. I know a lot of people are annoyed and sick of, oh, branded Despia. Oh, show many of them around. The deck is just a overall solid and really good deck, and it rewards skilled players with the complexity of the deck. And what's great is now the deck no longer has to rely on fusion deployment to make plays. It cuts all the trim out. You could play this deck around the 40 to 45 card deck, and it is complete gas. It's freaking amazing. So let's get right into it. We are running 2 of the Fallen of the White Dragon and 1 Fallen of Albaz. Because he is treated as Fallen of Albaz, no, it's always treated as Fallen of Albaz. You have to play a ratio of 1 OG Albaz and 2 of these. You can run 3 Fallen of the White Dragon and no Albaz, but I find you do need to keep the 1 OG Albaz to break boards. So the ideal, but you always want to start off with, try to optimize how you always want to start off with Fallen of the White Dragon for your plays. So 2-1 is why people play this. You have to have Fallen of the White Dragon. There is no ins and outs. But Theo, it's such an expensive card. No, this deck needs it. You have to run this card. Don't try to play any other way. Grow some brain cells. Play this card. Find a way, trade, sell, take a second, third job, get this card for your deck. Must. And because we're playing that, we have the 1 incredible Ecclesia of the Virtuous. We are playing the Golden Sword Soul in the deck. So this is going to be the Fallen of White Dragon package. Now, of course, the OG, we're running 3 Alibur. This is your best normal summon. You can either go into Branded Up High Spirits, then get your Fallen, or you could go, if you opened up with Fallen, then you could go for your Branded Fusion. So he's become a lot better now that you can potentially start off with Fallen of the White Dragon. Gives you a lot more options to go with. We still run the 1 Albion. He's just good. He's an upstart goblin. We run 2 Blazing and the 1 Quem. This is a 41 card build, so mid to late game she becomes very valuable. Obviously, we were playing the Dark Dragon, so gets into her for combos. We run the 1 Mercurier. We run the 1 Tri Brigade Spriggan's Kit. We run OG Kit. And now this deck can actually run hand traps. We run triple Ash. We run triple Fualos and double Veiler. So a lot of people are trying other things and trying other ways to get more optimal starters. I don't think that is actually correct. Playing with this deck, if you start playing besides Fualos, because Fualos is really good, and Ash, like, you really do not want to optimize any other. You want to minimize any other element besides light and dark, simply because a lot of your plays will revolve around light and dark, most of the time. So I opted to run Veeler as thing. Now, oftentimes depending on what I go against, these get exchanged out for one being Archlord Christia for Lock, and this one is oftentimes Bestial Serenir. But I decided to main deck the Veiler just because you don't know what you're going to go against, and Veiler it's an effect negation that can handle most situations, and it's a spellcaster, which will come up in a second. Now let's get into spells. We run obviously 2 Branded Fusion. We run triple Opening. We run triple High Spirits. This card is the nuts. We run the Fallen and the Virtuous. This card is so ridiculous. That is allows it's an extender and a disruption is so good. We run the Branded in White, Branded in Red, the Gold Sark, and the Retribution. That rounds off the branded cards. Then the rest of the cards is triple Forbidden Droplet. So that helps break boards. Not only does that, allows you to dodge hand traps and imperms with your Aliber. Yeah. Um, that does it for the main deck lineup. Let's talk about the extra deck. So we are running, of course, the brand new spanking Ecclesia, and the Dark Dragon. The fact that this helps, you know, get you to either Cartesia or Quem so early on in the game is ridiculous. And that one card gets you into this, which gets you into Cartesia, which gets you to plays for days. And we are running the Frame Lord Omega. The reason why we're running this, when you could rip a card out of hand and minimize their their plays, it's so strong, and that's a free body that inherently protects itself, and then it also recycles resources from your grave back. So when these two are in the graveyard, they will recycle resources. This will spin a card on the field and recycle itself. This will recycle this in another card. It's great if these are gone. They are great late game, um, um, grind game advantage cards. Um, yeah, so I really like this. Very easy to make. That's why you run the Golden Sword Soul. Is allows you to go Albaz into Ecclesia Sword Soul. You go into this, and then this goes into brings out your Cartesia. Because it's banished, you banish the because this was banished on the new chain. Sword Soul banishes itself, gets you the Ecclesia from graveyard. Then you normal summon whatever level 4 you have a Fual also had normal. Then you synchro into Omega, then banish itself. You rip from the hand. It's bonkers. We run 2 Granguinol. I might cut it to 1 since I'm not really reliant on the lock, but I right now that's what it is. 2 Albion, you have to run 2. 1 is to dump with whatever, and the other is to actually go into fusion plays. Run the one dragon that devours the dogma. Most of the time you're gonna dump this with Fallen, so you could get into you could do some plays with so you could get your Fallen and Virtuous into hand. 1 Albion allows you to control Graves, Renbrum. It's an Effectigator if you bring it out, which is much easier since you have a little more beasts in hands with the new Tri-Brigade's Springin's kit. And you can also use Fualo since it's a winged beast. Rebellion, 1 Mirror Jade, 1 Titanclad. And the rest of the stuff is going to be a Secretarion. Like I said, with Effect Veiler being a spellcaster, you can it's very easy to summon this too, as well as Cartesia. You have a fair share of spellcasters out there that breaks this out, which basically is a second Albion, more or less, or a second Sanctifier. We run 1 Proskinian and Star Source. Now back to the main deck I'm going to talk about is Droplet. Like, you could replace that with anything. That's pretty much free spots. Some people run Super Poly for this, but I like the droplets more just because, like I said, you could still get your effects to resolve the gate things and then go from there. But it's up to you. This is just the way I like for the deck. So yeah, that's about it. So if you like it, like, comments, things. I'm gonna try to set up something better for my channel and whatnot. I've just been focusing on art at the moment and other stuff, still trying to build up other things. So yeah, hit me up, questions, comments, things, collabs, whatever, duels, whatever. I'll try to schedule time, and I'd be down with that. So all right, thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.